Hi, this video is about angle bisectors and also segment bisectors, so we're just talking about bisectors in general. A line or array that divides an angle in half is going to be an angle bisector. A line or array that divides an angle in half. So bisect means to cut in half, okay? So for polygons, an angle bisector is a line that bisects an interior angle, meaning inside. So like if it was a triangle, it would bisect the inside angle. So essentially what we have here is an example. It's saying that this line BD bisects angle ABC. So this line BD bisects angle ABC. So we know that because it cuts it in half, we know that this angle is equal to that angle. So we know 8x minus 20 is going to be equal to 5x plus 1. Okay, so they set the two angles equal to each other, and then they solved it, and then it says the measure of angle ABD. So they went and they said, okay, so x is 7, so ABD was 8x minus 20, so they said 8 times 7 minus 20, and then for DBC, same thing, and then ABC, same thing. So sometimes it's going to ask you to find the actual angle, and sometimes it's going to ask you to find just x. So pay attention to what the directions are saying. In this case, it didn't ask you to do anything. I'm just showing you how it works. Segment bisector is the same thing. It's a point, a segment, a line, or even a plane that divides the line segment into two equal parts. That's what bisect means. It means to cut it into two equal parts. So the bisector of the segment always contains the midpoint. So this point right here is the midpoint. Okay, and so if we're looking, it says line MP bisects line LM. So if LM is 3, we know that MN also has to be 3, and the whole length of the line has to be 6, because 3 plus 3 equals 6. Okay? So we're going to solve a few problems about angle bisectors and segment bisectors on the inside of this worksheet. So let's start with this first example. When we open it up, it says find the value of n. So if we look, we can see that this is an isosceles triangle, and this is going to be, if PR is going to be our bisector. Okay, so PR is what's cutting this in half. So we know that 5n minus 20 is equal to 3n. Okay? So now we know that we can solve this by subtracting 3n from both sides, and we get 2n minus 20 equals 0. Now, I subtracted the 3n because it's smaller, because remember we want to try to stay positive as much as we can. So this becomes 2n minus 20 equals 0, and so then to finish solving we would need to move the 20 away from the n. So that cancels, and so we get 2n equals 20. And then divide by 2, so n equals 10. Okay? Now, it says find the measure of SPR and the measure of QPR. Okay? So if I wanted to find SPR, then I would have to put 10 in instead of n. So we say the measure of angle SPR equals 5 times 10 minus 20, which is 50 minus 20, or just 30. And then it also says to find the measure of angle QPR. QPR. Well, since it's a bisector, we know that they're supposed to be congruent. So let's just check to make sure. Measure of angle QPR equals 3 times 10, which is 30. So we got the same answer for both angles. Okay? Alright, so same thing on this one. It says find y. So if that's my bisector, EG is my bisector, then we're going to go ahead and plug in, or set them equal to each other. So 3y plus 4 equals 5y minus 10, and we're going to solve that equation. Okay, so this side is Texas because 5y is bigger than 3y, so I'm going to subtract 3y from both sides. And that's 2y minus 10 on this side and 4 on that side. And then I'm going to add 10 to both sides. So that's 14 equals 2y. So then divide by 2, so y equals 7. Okay? Now it says to find the measure of angle DEF. So that's actually the whole angle up here, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and fill in for one of them and then multiply it by 2. Or you could fill in for both of them and add them together. It's your choice. So I'm just going to go ahead and find one angle. So 3y plus 4. So instead of y, I'm going to put 7. So 3 times 7 plus 4 equals, that's 21 plus 4 is 25. And so I know that this angle is 25 degrees. Also, this angle is 25 degrees. So together, that doesn't look like a 5 anymore. Together, those two angles make 50 degrees. So the measure of angle DEF equals 50. Okay? Alright. Looking over here, same thing. If you notice, all of these are isosceles triangles, and they're all like making that bisector right there. Okay? Alright, so find P. So we just set the two angles equal to each other because IK is a bisector. And how do I know it's a bisector? When you look down here, you notice that those are congruent. Okay? So 2P minus 5 equals P plus 5. Solve it. This side is Texas, so we're going to subtract P from both sides. So P minus 5 equals 5. Add 5 to both sides. So P equals 10. Sorry, it's a little floppy. Just said to find P here, so that's kind of nice. Alright, the next one. So this one is also a bisector. So we're going to go ahead and set the two things equal to each other. First, find x. So 3x equals 5x minus 30. We're going to subtract 3x because this side is Texas, okay? So minus 3x minus 3x. 0 equals 2x minus 30. Add 30. So 30 equals 2x. Divide by 2. So x equals 15. Okay? And then it says find the measure of angle QTS. QTS is this whole length. So we're going to do, once again, just like what we did on this problem DEF. We're going to find one of them and multiply it by 2. So 3 times 15, that's 45, and 45 times 2 is 90. So the measure of angle QTS equals 90. Okay? Alright, so this one we're finding A and B, so we know that this line in the middle is our bisector, so we're going to just go ahead and set them equal to each other. So 3A minus 2 equals A plus 10. This side is Texas, so subtract A. 2A minus 2 equals 10. Add 2. 2A equals 12. Divide by 2. A equals 6. Finding B. Let's not worry about that because I'm running out of space over here. Alright, so let's do the bottom half here. So the bottom half is about segment bisectors. So we see right here that G is going to be our midpoint, and we know this because this segment is going to be equal to this segment because of the line, the tally mark. So I know FG is 23, so then that must mean that the other segment is going to also be 23. So let's just pay attention to what it's asking. It's asking for EG, so I know it's 23. Alright, so NW is 41. So then the other segment, WM, is going to be also 41. Put 23 there too. Okay, so let's pay attention to what the question's asking here. It's asking for MN. That's from the blue part all the way across the green part. So it's the whole thing. So it's 41 times 2, or 82. Okay. Okay, down here, they want you to find AB. Well, I know AB is 2x plus 3, BC is x plus 12. So the green and the blue are supposed to be congruent, so I can set them equal to each other. So 2x plus 3 equals x plus 12. Solve that, subtract x because this side is Texas. 1x plus 3 equals 12. Subtract 3. 1x equals 9. So now I just have to find AB. So I'm going to plug in 9. 2 times 9 plus 3. That's 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay. Alright, LN, same thing. We're going to solve. That green part is supposed to be congruent to the blue part because this line here says they're congruent. M is the midpoint. So 7x minus 2 equals 2x plus 18. We're going to subtract 2x because 7x is my Texas side. 5x minus 2 equals 18. Add 2. 5x equals 20. Divide by 5, so x equals 4. It wants to know LN. So just like up at the top with the angles, I can find one, either the green or the blue. And because they're congruent, I can multiply them by 2 to get the whole length, because LN is the whole length. So I'm going to find one of them. 7 times 4 minus 2. That's 28 minus 2, which is 26. So then LN is going to be 26 times 2. And if you do that on your calculator, because I always miss these, it's 52. Okay? Alright, so that's how you do those. Coming over here, we now see some problems that might be just a little bit more challenging. It says CG bisects the whole length AB. So I know that all of this, I'm just going to make a green and a blue real quick. So AC is going to be congruent to CB. So I know that all of the green is congruent to all of the blue. So CB is 11, it says, and DE from here to here is 4. And then it marked EC with a little tally mark just like this. So I know that this little part right here is also going to be 4. And I don't know how long this piece is, so I'm going to put X. So I know that the green part equals the blue part. So X plus 4 equals 11, and now I just solve it. X plus 8 equals 11, minus 8, X equals 3. So X is 3, so this part is 3, this part is 3, so then we say AD is 3, and then it says EC is 4, and it says all the way from A to B, that's going to be that 11 times 2, so it's going to be 22. Okay, so it says YZ bisects UV. So that means that this is my middle line right here. So this is going to be my blue on this side, and this is going to be my green on this side. And then it says WX bisects UY. So that means that this little piece right here is going to be congruent to that little piece right there. So let's go ahead and solve for X. So 3X plus 8 equals 5X. Subtract 3 from both sides. So we get 8 equals 2x, divide by 2, and x equals 4. Okay, so if x equals 4, they're asking us to find all of these different lengths. So we're going to plug in 4 here. I like this one because it's an easier equation. So 5 times 4 on this one, that means that this part is 20. So from W to Y is 20. Is that one of them? No. But U to W is, and it's supposed to be congruent to this one. So that means that this one is also 20. Because of the tally marks. Remember, we said that this was congruent to that. Okay, so then YV is going to be the same as the green. The blue is the same as the green. So if the green is 20 and 20, the blue is going to be 40, twice as much. And then they want to know U to V. So from U to V is going to be, so if this is 40, and this is also 40, 40 plus 40 is 80. Okay? So make sure you fold this in half. Make sure you cut it so that you can see only bisectors when you need to. And then go ahead and glue this into your spiral. I don't know what page it goes on. The next one. We'll talk about it. I'll make a table of contents so you can see. And then I have a couple of students standing here staring at me, laughing at me. Do y'all want to say hi? They want to say hi on the video. If they don't say hi, I'm going to tell everybody what their names are. No? Okay. The first student is Oh, I won't do that to him. Okay. Say hi. They didn't say hi. I'm sorry they didn't say hi. That's boring.